Okay. This is a very low-tech video. I'm sorry, I don't have the cool tripods and all that fun stuff, but um, this video would have been really helpful for me. So I'm going to make this video, probably for myself to watch later, but I wanted to also make it so that way if anybody was trying to figure out this pressure switch, you could figure out how to calibrate it. So let me show you my configuration here. So I have just a regular bike pump, and it's hooked up down here. I got my bike pump, and just the pressure in the tube will grow and diminish on the pressure switch, so you don't have to worry about like getting a air compressor or anything like that. This actually works pretty well. So the setup that I have is a Schrader valve. See if you can see this. So I have a Schrader. Come on, cameras, man. Okay, you can get it from there. Okay, so I have a Schrader valve to a quarter, and then a 1/4 inch to, I believe, a 5/8, which is the bottom of the pressure switch. And then the pressure switch is connected at the well. And then these two feeds are connected to the pump, and then these two feeds are connected to the power. And so you have white, black, black, white. I think that's how that's set up. I don't know. I took a picture of it before I disconnected it. I don't have it memorized. I'm sorry. So I just got done configuring this thing. It took tightening and loosening these nuts, and then I finally figured it out. But um, the cap, maybe I'm just slow, but the cap really didn't explain nut one clockwise bottom temperature or something. I don't know. It still doesn't make sense to me now that I even know how to work it. So anyway, I'm going to connect the pump up to it, and you're just going to have to take my word for this. So I'm going to explain it as it's happening on the pump. But I'm going to go ahead and attach the pump there to it. And now right here you can see the switches activate and deactivate. So I'm going to put pressure on the line. So right now I'm at 0, and we have contact, right? So it's below 20 pounds. I just know it's at 20 pounds. And so when I hit 20 pounds, it's going to be like, oh, cool, you're on. Anything below 20 is going to be on. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm at 30, 35, 40, 45, click. Okay? So 45, it just went off. And now I'm going to come down. So I'm at 30, 25, 20, 18 to click. Okay? So now back up. Now it's on. It's like, hey, contact. So whatever pressure switch. In this case, I'm working on a well. So now it's filling up the line with pressure until the pressure reaches, again, 40, 42, 43, and then it's going off. So you see that little, how it's going on and off? So I'm pushing the pump down. My line is leaking just a little bit. It doesn't take much, but there you go. So that's what's happening. So it's hitting 40-ish pounds, 45, 43, 44, 45, something like that. I have an analog gauge here, so it's not super high tech. Here's my, you can see it. It's just a bike pump analog gauge right here. So I don't have it like super specific. Okay, so now I'm going to show the adjustments on this stuff. So this one controls the tension on the bottom of where you want it to turn on. So if you're, like in my case, I'm just at like 20, 18 pounds, something like that. I want it to be at 22 pounds. I'm going to put tension on this screw. So here I have my line that I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to run this a whole turn. So there's a half a turn, and there's a whole turn. And again, you're going to have to take my word for this. Okay, so now I put a whole turn on there, which should increase it by about, I don't know, 3 pounds. Okay, so now the top isn't going to change. I'm still going to click back off at 45, 43 pounds. But now when I release and it comes down and the pressure's escaping, I just tightened this, so now it's not going to release at 18 pounds. It's going to release at like 21 pounds. So here we go. I'm going to test it. So again, you have to take my word for it. So there's 48.5, 43. Now it's coming down 37, 30, 25, 22, almost 20, but it was like 21, 22. Again, analog. But it just clicked off. So again, back on 22, 20. Yeah, it's not even 20. It's like 21. Remember, I tightened that a whole screw turn. So I'm gonna loosen it now. So here we go. I'm gonna loosen the big screw 2 turns. Okay. So there's 1. So now I'm back at 18, and then there's 2. Okay. So now I'm probably at like 16 pounds or something, right? So let's test it again. So again, here we go. So pressure switches are on. I don't know if you can see the shadow on the pressure switches is on, off now. I'm at 40, 30, 25, 20, 18, 17, 16, 16-ish. Yeah, I'm not to exactly the 15 mark. I'm right above the 15 mark. So now they're back on again. And then there's 43, 42, something like that. And then back to 20-ish. So there you go. So that's the range. So that's how you adjust this range. Okay, so now I'm going to take it back up because I want it to be back at 20. So again, I'm going to rotate it a whole turn. So there's a half a turn. There's a whole turn. So now I believe I'm at around 20 pounds. So there's 45, 30. That's like 18. So I want it a little bit harder. So I'm just going to turn it like a quarter turn. And I'm at 20, and it's still a little below 20, so I'm going to take it another quarter turn. Okay, here's my quarter turn. So this is adjusting the bottom again. There's 20. There's 20 on the mark. I like that. Okay, so now this little one, I'm going to loosen by a whole turn. And now this one is a little bit, I guess, less sensitive. So a whole turn is like 5 pounds. So I'm going to go from here, a whole turn. So there's half a turn. Here's a full turn. So now a full turn, again, we were at 42, 43. So now I just loosen this, and so I'm giving it less tension. And so now when I push on this thing, it should click. Actually, it wasn't that noticeable. Again, you have to take my word for it, but I'm at 40, 42 still. Huh. Okay, let's loosen it a little bit more. Let's loosen it 2 turns. Again, this was a learning experience for me, and I was just like, is that half? Yeah, that's a half. Okay, and then there's 2. There's 2 turns. Okay, so 2 turns loosening on the small nut, or the number 1 nut. Okay. Oh, that went down to like 38. Okay, so here we go. I'm at 20, 30, 35, 36 actually, 36, 37. I'm going to go up to 40. Yep. And then I'm going to go back down. There's my 20. It's right on the mark for 20. Okay? So I loosened it, and that lowered the top PSI. So I don't want to be at 38. I want to be at like right at 40. So I'm going to turn it 1 whole turn. Okay, so there's 1 whole turn. Okay, I'm going to test it again. Okay, line is pressed up right there. It's actually a little before 40, so it went off at like 39. So I'm going to take it a half a rotation. So we'll be right like that. Okay, there's a half rotation. Actually, the nut's a little skewy. I guess I should use the other side for this nut, but whatever. Okay, so we're right there. Okay, half a rotation. Tightening. There's my half rotation. Okay, let's test it again. Here we go. So we have our connection. Here we go. That is like almost on 40. I'm going to take it up another half turn. Just because I like it a little more. All right, here we go. We're at 41, 42. I'm going to take it up just a smidge. Okay, there we go. Yep, we're right at like 41. So when I put 41 pounds on the line, it turns off. So the switches are kicking off. Now the other thing that I did too, which I wanted to show, is I got these two leads from a multimeter, and I put them under here. You can't really see, but I put them under the screws like that, and then I just tighten the screws. And then again, you can't see it because I have a very low tech and I only have 2 hands, and it takes way too many hands to operate all of this functionality. But you'll just have to take my word for it. My multimeter right now, connected on 2 screws, is showing that I have ohms, which means I have resistance, which means I have connection, okay? So I'm going to put the switch down, okay? Let's see if this will work. I'll put the switch down here. And clearly you could just imagine the same thing. When it clicks off, I'm going to disconnect the ohms, okay? So you see the ohms, right? Let's see if I can... Here we go. You see the ohms? Okay. Now I'm going to push on the pump. Here we go. Going up. Ohms are off. Ohms are on, which means I have resistance, which means I have continuity. Oh, no, don't drop. Woo! Don't need to be breaking stuff trying to make a video. Okay. Let's see if I can set this back up. Okay, again, very low-tech video. I apologize, guys. I just wanted to show how to calibrate this thing, because I did not see any videos online. And it would have just been nice to have somebody explain to me what the 2 posts did. So this post, the small post, raises and lowers the upper range. And the bigger post raises and lowers the bottom range. Okay? So right now, it's obviously below 20, and so the switch is on, right? And then when it goes above, then the switch is off. Okay, so now I have this other pressure switch because I didn't know if the pressure switch was bad, but really it was just a user error. But we're going to calibrate this other one. So if you want to stick around, that's what the rest of this video is going to be. I want to calibrate, I want to see what the range is on this one. So I'm going to take off my hardware from the bottom of this switch, and I'm going to put it on the next switch. So if you want to stick around, hey, stick around. I'm basically going to be doing the exact same thing as before. And this pressure switch is a square D. Sorry, the one I just took the hardware off is off of, I don't remember. It was not square D, but I believe they all work the same. Okay, so now putting this one on the square D, tighten this down. Close enough. Okay, so hook up my pump to it. Very high-tech pump connection apparatus here. Okay, so there we go. We're off right now. I don't know why it's off. I don't know why it's off. So we're going to learn some more here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm putting pressure on the line. 20, 30, 40, 50. It clicked. Maybe that was a reset. Now I'm going down. 40, 30, 30. 50. Actually, it was more like 48. So 48, 30, 30. It was like 29. Okay, so we're at 29 on the high end. And what does this lever do? Maybe reset it, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what this lever does. Anyway, okay, so we're on the bottom end at like 29 and on the high end at like 48. Right? Is that what I said? Yeah, 29 and 48. Okay, so if I wanted to make this the same as the other pressure switch, and make it 20 and 40, which is the range, I'm going to work on the top range first. And the top range is currently at 48. So I'm going to rotate this counterclockwise. Here we go. I'm going to rotate this counterclockwise 3 turns. Okay? So we have half, 1, half, 2, half, 3. Okay? So now let's test it. Okay? Top end, currently connected. Okay? 40, 42, 43, 43-ish. 43-ish. The bottom end is still clicking off at 29. Yep. So 43-ish. Okay, so I'm going to take this down another half turn. Okay? Another half turn. Counterclockwise. Right there. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. Now, the bottom end is at 29, and I want it at 20. So I'm also going to take this down to 20. So I'm going to turn this maybe 4 times. Okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I loosened it, the big post, by 4 turns. We were at 29 before. So right now, I don't know why we're off. Right now we're off. Okay, and it just clicked, but it's still off. So I don't know, maybe that activated it. Okay, and now we're at 44, 45, 46. Oh, I must have screwed it up. Okay, and then we're now at 30. And now we're on. Oh, okay, I guess we have to just reset it. Anyway, okay. So top end, disconnecting now at 35. Bottom end, connecting or charging at 20. So we hit the 20 part. That worked perfect. But it's disconnecting at 38 and the bottom at 20. So let's make the top end a little harder. So here we go. So we'll put this on this one, and we're going to tighten the top end screw by, let's go 1 whole round. So let's go 1. That's half. That's 1. Okay, so we're at 1 now. Okay, again, we're disconnected below 20 pounds. Okay, now there's a little bit of pressure on the, oh, look at that. A little bit of pressure on the system, and it charges the system. I don't know if you could see that. Okay, so now we go up. Okay, so I get a big bite of air. Okay, here we go. So we're pressurized. We're still only at like 35. And then still disconnecting at 20. Okay, so I'm going to take up the little screw 2 turns. Okay, so here we go. Little screw, half, 1, half, 2. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. They're charged. I heard them get charged. 38. 38. 20. All right, I'm going to take it another turn. Okay, so here we go. Half, full. All right, let's see what we got. Charged. 40, 30, 25, 20. Right on the knot. I'm going to take the little one up because it was more like 39 and a half. I'm just going to take it up just a quarter. So it's going to go like that. Okay, so that just tightened it a quarter just for adjustment. Here we go. Going up, 35, 37, 38, 39, right there at 40. Yeah, it's clicking at like 40 and a half, 40 and a quarter. It's like right there. So we're now programmed this at 40 on the top end. So let's take a look at the bottom. So now it's off. We got the switches off. So now I'm releasing pressure. I'm at like 25, 22. Let me test that again. Right at 20. And it's like just as it falls below 20, it goes off. So there we go. So we now calibrated this to 20 and 40. So this one also is exactly at 20 and 40. Now if I wanted to make it at 45, I would just tighten this one down just a little bit. So I'll do 1 whole rotation. Okay, 1 whole rotation. Let's see what we're at. It should be like 42. 42-ish. All right, let's do another rotation. Now that I know how this thing works, I'm excited. Okay, here we go. 45. There we go. We're at 45 and 20. Excellent. So there you go. That's how you calibrate a pressure switch. So 45 and 20. And I know we put a little extra power or pressure on the other switch. And I actually forgot what I put on the other switch. So I'm going to redo that one just to check it. Okay, so that one, actually, you know what? I'm going to permanent marker this thing. I'll do that off camera, but that one is 2045. I don't know where a permanent marker is here. I'm at my very organized parents' house. And it's got a battery notification on my phone saying, "You're going to be dead soon." To which I replied in my head, "Tell me something that is surprising. Like, oh, hey, you saved $1 million on your recent vacation to Guam." Okay, here we go. So, switches are charged right now. Okay. 41 and like 21. It's like 39, so I'm going to take it up. Taking it up with a little, tightening it. There's a quarter, there's a half, there's a quarter, there's a full. So a full 42, 43, 44, 45-ish. Let's test it again. Oh, I got too much air in the line. All right, that's 20. Okay, it's going off at 20. I'm sorry this is such a low-tech video, guys. I really hope you guys are getting good value out of it. All right, we're 42, 43, 44. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I like that charge. All right, so 42, 43. And we now have contact. The leads look a little worn. But I'm going to run with it. We'll see what we get. I hope the video was helpful for you guys. And go ahead and put your comments, questions. I'm not that knowledgeable because clearly I had to make this video. But I hope you guys benefited from it. Have a great day.